Mackenzie Blackwood continues to be brilliant, even if the Sharks aren't.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, welcome to Locked On Sharks, the premier hockey podcast covering your favorite team in the Bay Area. My name is JD Young, caretaker of the Reef, also the co-host of Locked On NHL's Tuesday edition. I want to thank you for making Locked On Sharks your first listen, probably part of the Locked On Network. We cover your team every day. If you want to be an everydayer, all you have to do is just follow wherever you get podcasts, or you can watch this on YouTube as well. And today we're going to be talking about Mackenzie Blackwood's brilliance, the Sharks' struggles, we'll say nicely, digging into the numbers behind the Sharks' 3-1 loss to the Florida Panthers, and talk about Askarov and the Barracuda as the wagon is fully back. So before we get to all that, do want to let you guys know that today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. And the Sharks' struggles in the state of Florida continue as Saturday night they lose 3-1 to the Florida Panthers in a game that, if it wasn't for Mackenzie Blackwood, we'd be talking about another kind of 8-1 type of performance that we saw against the Tampa Bay Lightning. And I know a lot of people are already on the regression, et cetera, which is fair. Also, you just played the defending champs in the Florida Panthers, and they are, last time I checked, really good at hockey. We'll dig into more of kind of the game and stuff here, but I think the big takeaway, though, from this game is the Sharks should not trade Mackenzie Blackwood. Watching, because I went to the Barracuda game on Saturday, so I had this game watched Sunday, watched this game on kind of tape delay, watched, Mackenzie Blackwood, he's really good. And I know there's people out there, and there's, after the Sens game where he had a bad performance, and there's still people out there with the pitchforks and, blaming Mackenzie Blackwood for that. But then you look at performances like this, where Mackenzie Blackwood, as Ryan Warsofsky said, stood on his head in one of the best goalie performances he's ever seen. Unbelievable. One of the best goalie performances I've ever seen. Stood on his head for us to be in that game. What he did was super impressive. Not surprised, though. We got to get better individually as a group. We need to get our swagger back. The last two have been stinkers. Okay. But Mackenzie Blackwood, man, he just goes out there and he steals the show at time. Again, watch this game. How many breakaways and just straight up thefts did Mackenzie Blackwood have in this game? And this isn't just a one-off performance, right? Blackwood has been stellar basically since he got to San Jose. And you look at, he's talked about one, being healthy, and Mackenzie Blackwood has been relatively healthy since he got here. And two, the work with Thomas Spears, the goaltending coach. I know, and there's gonna be trade deadlines and stuff. And if the Sharks get blown away with an offer, they get blown away with an offer. But Mackenzie Blackwood this year is 22nd in goals saved above expected. So in the entire NHL, he saved 53 goals, or he's allowed 53 goals on 56.87 expected goals for. So just as a expected goals for, that is the sixth most in the NHL, behind UC Saros, who's good, Connor Hellebuck, who's pretty good, Jordan Bennington, who don't tell anybody but can be very good, Igor Shesterkin, pretty good, Sam Montague, who's just made Team Canada, and then Mackenzie Blackwood. And while maybe his goals saved above expected aren't as great as some of these other performances and other guys. It shows like he's getting he's getting a lot of work, and he is being doing the best he can. Like he's being a positive influence when he is on the ice. Um, like, and I know you have Askarov, and we're gonna spend plenty of time talking about Askarov here in the third segment. But why wouldn't you, especially as we expect this Sharks team to continue to get better, right? Why wouldn't you have a guy like Mackenzie Blackwood who on any given night can steal a performance at any given time? Um, and if you want to run a Blackwood Askarov tandem for the next couple seasons, um, that sounds great to me. Whereas Askarov can kind of continue to get maybe eat a little bit more of the pie, the bigger share of the starts and the pie. I guess the total start pie was what I was trying to go with. But then having a guy like Blackwood who has kind of been through a lot, he's been through the struggles, he's been through the injuries, and if Askarov, who's gonna have his up and downs, and he's been absolutely dominant in the AHL, and there's really not much left he needs to prove in the AHL, but still, like having a guy like Blackwood who can one be a good mentor and two help push Askarov to be his best self because both these guys are insanely competitive. Both of them kind of have really similar styles of play of being insanely flexible and using their size to their advantage and their ability. I think Blackwood's a little bit better at that cross lateral movement because Askarov doesn't really need to do it as much because he's a little bit more technically sound. But anyway, though with both these guys where like they're similar enough in their builds and styles and flexibility where I think that I think it'd be a really nice tandem for the next couple of seasons. And I'll have to do my research on how much you pay Mackenzie Blackwood. And it's not like the Sharks have to worry about cap space with $3.35 million projected cap space going into this off season. And, you have to pay Fabian Zetterlund and there's, some guys here and there, but like the Sharks have all the money in the world to do what they want. And, you're going to have Eklund and Celebrini and Smith contracts down the road, but like, why trade Mackenzie Blackwood? Like, I don't see his game just falling off a cliff here. And like, I'm not saying give Mackenzie Blackwood like an 8-year deal or something like that, but if you want to give him another 2-year deal, and he seems to be like you mentioned the other day, or you mentioned the day after his performance, how much he loves it here and how much he loves the guys in the locker room and how much like, he almost like broke down talking about it. And again, that his work with Thomas Spears and his ability to really resurrect his career, why wouldn't Blackwood want to stay on a team that's going to get better? Right. I mean, they have a lot of work to do on the blue line, but you even with the past 2 games, you feel like this team's going in a good direction, right? And this isn't the worst team in the NHL. I mean, they're not the best team in the NHL, but like you see the foundation, and why wouldn't Blackwood, who again got discarded? There's people who are mad about trading a 6th-round pick for Mackenzie Blackwood. Like, that trade has worked out wonderfully, and even if you do flip them, you're going to get something way better than a 6th-round pick back. But still, like, I am of the like, yes, Sharks should still be trying to gather assets and stuff, but you're also trying to find out guys who can be here for a while and who are going to be part of your, you know, medium to long-term future. And I think Mackenzie Blackwood can be a good goalie for the next few years. And I'm not just willing to give that up unless I'm getting blown away with an offer, because then that's just another to-do list thing for you this summer is you're gonna have to go out into the free agents market, probably overpay for a goalie, and you have no idea how they're going to work out in your system. Wouldn't you rather just like, I have food at home, it's Mackenzie Blackwood, and it's really great food? Like, wouldn't you rather just have that? Yeah, that is my, as weird as it sounds and stuff, but like just watching Blackwood just go like absolutely bananas in this game, I don't want to trade him. Like, I think he's too good. I don't think you're going to get an appropriate value back for what Mackenzie Blackwood means to the San Jose Sharks team. And yes, you do have Askarov, but you need 2 goalies last time I checked. Like, Askarov isn't going to play 82 games in a season. And the last thing I want to do is just wear out burn out Askarov in his first 2 seasons as an NHL goalie. Like, I I want to have confidence that no matter who you throw out there in net, you feel like you're going to get a great performance. And I think with Mackenzie Blackwood, you feel like you're going to get a great performance, the majority of times he goes out. And with Askarov, the way he's playing in the AHL, that's the hope that when he goes out, you feel like all you need is at least one with Askarov, and you feel like you're going to be in a good position to win. So we'll dig into the game some more, talk about how badly the Panthers kind of dominated the Sharks, especially when it came to shot attempts, talk about the weird power play flow of this game, all that good stuff here in just 1 second. I love the idea of a deal as much as the next guy, but I'm not going to crawl through a bed of hot coals just to save a few bucks. With Mint Mobile, it's easy to get wireless for $15 a month with the purchase of a 3-month plan. All you have to do is just go to mintmobile.com/lockedonnhl, and you'll get started with a 3-month plan at only $15 a month, including their unlimited plan. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with your existing contacts. Nothing worse than having to new phone who this. So find out how easy it is to switch to Mint Mobile and get 3 months of premium wireless service for $15 a month. To get this new customer offer, you need a new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month. Go to mintmobile.com/lockedonnhl. That's mintmobile.com/lockedonnhl. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/lockedonnhl. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower than 40 gigabytes on unlimited plans. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details. And if you want to get to the tank and go catch Celebrini, Will Smith, and Eklund and the Sharks, you need to check out Game Time. Game Time is a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting new tickets for your favorite live events even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste your time searching through thousands of tickets. They've curated deals, make it even easier to find the best price on great seats. Of course, you can see your seats before you buy. Nothing worse than getting to an event, realizing my seats stink. I just used it to go get tickets to the AHL Barracuda. Got to see Teddy Bear Toss game. Had great seats. Of course, there's always great seats at Tech City Arena. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Down the Game Time app. Create an account and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNHL, LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. All right, let's dig into the game a little bit more. Again, ugly performance by the Sharks, just thoroughly outplayed, and you would expect Sharks bottom 5 team. Panthers, defending champs, really kind of coming into form. Bobrovsky back, this had all the makings for the Sharks to get pumped. And I think the 3-1 score really talks about how great Blackwood was in this game. Normally I talk about the goalies at the end. 49 saves on 52 shots, 3 goals against, expected goals against at 5.21, 942 save percentage, 312 goals against average, 8 of 9 on high danger saves, 14 of 14 mid danger, 27 of 29 low danger. Just absolutely under siege all evening. Yeah. Don't trade Blackwood. Anyway, 37 minutes of 5-on-5. There was a bajillion penalties in this game. A bajillion penalties. I think the Sharks went 1 for 5 or 1 for 7, excuse me, and the Panthers went 1 of 5. Like an insane amount of power play, which maybe the power play just helps also to like limit the bleeding from the Panthers as they were just murdering the Sharks with shot attempts. 37 minutes, excuse me, 66 to 25 shot attempts in favor of the Panthers, 72.53% Corsi for the Panthers, 33 to 11 actual shots, 24 to 13 scoring chances, 7 to 6 high danger chances, 2.76 to 1.48 expected goals for. So the Panthers did what they want. Credit to the Sharks, though. When they got opportunities, they were quality opportunities. That is a silver lining in this game, but just couldn't make the most of them. You know, you think there was like a Cunnin breakaway where he gets an opportunity, isn't able to put one home. Like Cup, that's again, bad teams don't take advantage of opportunities. Good teams like the Panthers, they take advantage of the opportunities and they put teams away. So, like this game could have been, there's definitely plenty of universes where this game was a lot worse. So I'm just going to call it square with Mackenzie Blackwood's brilliant performance and the Sharks not taking care of some of their advantages. We'll just say that the scales probably balance out a little bit. So as for 5-on-5 play, of course, Will Smith did not play this game day to day with an upper body injury. Also of note, Giovanni Smith put on waivers on Saturday with the assumption if he goes unclaimed, I would be surprised if someone claims him, but the assumption that he'll be assigned to the Barracuda. People are asking, what does this mean? Like, it's probably because Barclay Goodrow is ready to come back from his injury. He has been skating with it, kind of practicing with his non-contact. I assume he will practice on Monday, and as a Sharks are going to be in Raleigh to play the Hurricanes. I assume he'll probably practice, and that probably means he's going to be ready to go. I know Vlasic has also been practicing. I would assume Jack Thompson will be the one who gets sent down if Vlasic is ready to go, especially with the Sharks. Well, with the Barracuda, they have a couple days. They're off for a while. So anyway, just wanted to put a button on that. So no Will Smith. Ekholm and Celebrini. Zetterlund played 7:07 at 5-on-5. Again, really the 5-on-5 time is insane in this game. 1 shot attempt to 14. 0 to 7 actual shots for this line. And this is, again, like as Celebrini has been great. We've seen Celebrini do magnificent things. There's going to be nights when you are facing the defending champion and your line struggles to put together, like you just get dominated. And that is going to be part of the growing pains from Celebrini and such. Do I think that the Sharks should break this line up? No, because they have been really good. But sometimes you're going to have nights like Saturday night where you just get absolutely caved in. So Costin, Granlund, Cardwell played 6:19, 6 to 10 shot attempts, 2 to 5 actual shots on goal, 0.46 to 0.2 expected goals for. Cunnin, Wenberg, Toffoli played 6:06, 5 to 13 shot attempts, 2 to 7 actual shots on goal, 0.08 to 0.72 expected goals for. And then Sturm, Delandrick, Grunstrom played 5:54, 6 to 5 actual shots, 6 to 5 shot attempts, 4 to 2 shots. We got one, guys. They outshot their when they were 0.36 to 0.15 expected goals for. I don't want to harp. You're going against the defending champs, and you got a tough game again on Tuesdays. So, watching the game, I felt like the effort was better against Tampa, but still, you're just playing a superior opponent, and they right off the jump, 30 seconds or whatever into the game, they score on you, and it credit to the Sharks who didn't let this thing run away like we had seen against Tampa, right, where it goes boom, 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 and all of a sudden you're down 5-0 at the end of the first. Credit to the Sharks for hanging in there. Credit to Mackenzie Blackwood for making this game much closer than it probably should have been. But, bad teams playing one of the best teams in the NHL. This is what's going to happen. So I still think the team has been much more competitive, and they got there's a really tough stretch, and I want to see how they perform again. Playing against Carolina, Carolina can do the same thing to you. What have you learned? How do you perform against them? And then you play a Blues team who has been playing better since their coach got fired, but I feel like you kind of owe the Blues one. So, yeah. It's not time to panic. It's a long season. We're trying to see incremental improvement. So let's talk about the Barracuda here in just 1 second, and Askarov and what I saw when I was at the Barracuda game, sitting right behind Askarov. I made sure I wanted to sit right behind Askarov and watch him. It is a blast. So we'll talk about the Barracuda and their big weekend as they swept Coachella, and some very, very tight games, but we'll talk about that here in just 1 second. Get ready to tackle the NFL action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. So you get the hunch in the middle of a game. Say you think maybe the Dolphins come back and beat the Jets in overtime. Maybe something like that might happen. You can bet where you put same place you catch stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more. Same place where you place your bets. So just visit FanDuel.com and join today. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. All right, before we finish up, again, Askarov and the Barracuda, do want to, of course, thank you guys for making Locked On Sharks your first listen. For your second listen, go check out one of the other great shows here, including Locked On Fantasy Hockey. If your fantasy hockey team needs some help, you need to know who you start, who to sit, who to trade away, who to look for on the waiver wire, all that good stuff. They've got you covered over there. Or check out one of the other great shows here in the Bay Area. You got Locked On Niners with a big win over the Bears as they, just like the Dolphins, clinging to life support of their playoff chances. Locked On Warriors, Locked On A's, Locked On Giants with a big signing this weekend too. So plenty of great stuff here at the Locked On Network. We cover your team every day. All right, the Barracuda. Went to the Teddy Bear Toss game again. If you have not been to a Teddy Bear Toss game, absolutely bananas. So much fun. The Barracuda did a great job with it. Love the sweaters, the shirt, everything was great. Highly recommend it. Hats off to the San Jose Barracuda and their team and the work they put into that. I think they all 4,500 bears, I think is what they collected. All going to kids in need. What better excuse? Anyway. Askarov. So I sat section 108. If you've ever been to Texas Arena, section 108 is the one right above the bar, the fireball, you're right behind the goalie. Kind of up, right behind the goalie. And I very intent watch Askarov. So I got to first period, third period, right behind, watching Askarov. He's so good. And yes, he's very good. But one of the things that his ability to almost trick shooters into thinking they have a window and then closing it off. I saw it a bunch of times, especially you see through the screen, the guy, the defenseman on the blue line, think he's got a chance, and you see the opening just open up for a split second. The defenseman goes, he shoots it, and Askarov just boom, done. And it looks so calm. And it's crazy because anytime he goes to the net, I'm going to get gray hair. And that's going to be part of the Askarov situation. Thing is, he likes to play the puck. He's like he said, right? Sometimes I'm good. Sometimes I'm not so good, as trying to keep family friendly. Don't need Tegna yelling at me, but his ability to close off like trick shooters and think that they have an opening and then they don't because he knows that's where they're going to shoot the puck. Um, it's something to watch. And anything low, because he's so big and he's so flexible and he gets those pads stacked. Like he can just basically squat down, put the pads and there's just no space to go. And he's so strong there. Like it's he's ready to play NHL games. I know the outcry to we know the Sharks have a plan, right? They want the Barracuda to be good. They want him to be a big part of it. Um, we'll see what happens with Vitek Vanacek, who's had some stinkers as of late. If how his next performance looks, I assume he's getting a start here at some point. But this was a big weekend for the Barracuda, and they beat Coachella, who had a really bad start, but have played much better. Coachella Valley, who they went to the finals the past 2 years, lost both times, and I know this team's a lot different, but just like the Barracuda never beat Coachella. It was very much like a big brother, little brother, where they just always knocked them down. And this weekend, their ability, they won a 1-0 game with Askarov having a 36 save shutout. And then they won a 2-1 game, which they had to come back. They were down 1 early, and then Bordelot tied it up in the first period. And then they had to come back and win that game, and they won that game in the third period. Between Romanov and Askarov, they went 68 of 69 on saves. They allowed 1 goal to this Coachella Valley team. And the way they were able to shut this team down as they were trying to come back, they also had to kill a penalty in both games in the last 4 minutes. So they're basically playing 6-on-4 for the last 4 minutes, 2 minutes of that, and then 6-on-5 for the last minute. And beginning of the season, they were blowing people out, but they're learning how to win these close games. And these are the types of games you have to win in the playoffs, right? It's you can't just blow everybody out. It just, as the season goes on, you're not just going to blow everybody out. And these are games that you would see. Jan Soto to the Mets. Good for him. Anyway, these are games that you would see the Barracuda lose frequently, right? They wouldn't be able to complete the comeback, or they would have a lead and they're trying to hold on and they don't hold on. I'm really impressed with their performance this week. And the offense, they were doing positive things this week. Even the past couple of games, they haven't been scoring as much. They've been getting a lot of goals from kind of the, secondary scoring. Lucas Van Roboy with the teddy bear toss goal. I know Bordelot, who's a top scorer. He scored. We'll talk about Bordelot here in a second too. You had Hool, who scored as well. This team they've been getting a lot of secondary scoring, and they're still winning games without having their top performers score. Gushin's been a little quiet. Podorowski, Colin Graff, Beasted, some of these top 6 guys haven't really been scoring as much lately. So when they start scoring, you can see why this team is going to be really exciting. So I again, not the sexiest of wins, right? Winning 2-1 and winning 1-0, but I think these are the wins you have to learn how to complete if you want to win in the playoffs. And you're still stacking wins, and that's the most important thing right now. This part of the season is to continue to stack wins, and the Barracuda have done there 7-2-0-1, I think, in their last 10. That's pretty good. And Bordelot, I think, is really starting to come along here. Had a couple goals a couple games ago, had a goal tonight in a big, tied the game in the first period, where you saw him, that hustle, the things that he was always kind of can you back check? If you're not scoring goals, what else are you doing? Can you back check? Can you play with effort? Can you try in the defensive zone? And you saw Bordelot tonight, huge back check where it's basically it's like a 3-on-2. He back checks, he slides, he gets a stick out there to break up a 3-on-2. He at the end of the game, is like 15 seconds left. Barracuda flipped the puck down. It looks like it's gonna be an icing. He hustles, beats the icing. He gets knocked down to his like knees, and he's on his knees with a stick trying to poke the puck into the net. Like things like that that does not go unnoticed by uppers. And while I don't know if Bordelow's gonna get the call up now soon, you're seeing that maturity in his game that like he needs to do, all the things you need to do to be a NHL player. That's like Ethan Cardwell, right? Talk about Ethan Cardwell and why he's going to be an NHL player probably for a long time because he does all that stuff to begin with. Bordelow's starting to learn how to do those things and making those sacrifices that you need for one, the team to be successful, and two, for your team to be successful. If he keeps playing like this, I wouldn't be surprised if Bordelow does get his opportunity, gets a chance here really soon because I feel like, especially, he was injured the first part of the season, missing, I think getting back into form. I think he's really starting to find his groove right now. So, like I said, I think Bordelow is going to get an opportunity here. So, Barracuda, it's a wagon, baby. Wagon is back, baby. So that's gonna be it for me today. We'll be back tomorrow. So make sure you guys are following wherever you get podcasts. And of course, you can watch on YouTube as well. Follow the show on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Locked On Sharks. Follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at My Fry Hole. Till tomorrow. Bye, friends.